Okay, so let's get started with whoever is here, and for those that find us along the way, they will literally pick up from wherever we are at that point in time. All right, so to get us started, let me just share my screen so that we can follow up as I take us through. For us to easily follow up and see where we are at whatever point in time we are. So for those that are here, my name is Kenneth Ntende. I am the CEO of MonkeyPresser Limited. And for today's webinar, we'll be teaching you the basics of what has evolved in the world of marketing in 2022. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share my screen so that it's easy for us to follow where I am. And for anyone that has a question at any point in time, please feel free to use the Q&A section at the side of the screen if you're using your desktop, and it's at the bottom in case you're using your mobile. So just drop a question there at any point in time, and we will be in position to respond to your whatever queries that you have at any point in time. All right, so yes, to help us better follow up, let me just share my screen. In case you can already see my screen, you just let me know by leaving a thumbs up or something in the comment section, in the Q&A section. So just drop me a comment so I know that you guys are following with me. All right. So now, like I said, today's webinar is about how to market your business in 2022. As of this year, truth be told, people no longer want to be marketed to. The number of ads that people are receiving are too many that on any average day, people are receiving between 3,000 and 10,000 ads a day. Meaning what this goes to show is people are getting, should I say, they detest ads more and more and more every step of the way. In fact, Netflix recently said they wanted to test out an advertising model. And just because of that, they lost almost 200,000 subscribers for the first time ever. It just goes to show how much people detest being advertised to. But regardless of how much people detest being advertised to, it's important that we figure out how we evolve our brands to still be able to market to people, because ultimately, if we do not market to them, we won't get the leads that we need to sell. So it's this webinar is intended to just address that. It will be more or less of a breakdown of what can you do in line with marketing for your brand so that you do not come off intrusive to the people that you're serving, while at the same time attracting the ideal customer that you want. We also understand that there's a bit of a budget constraint for many business owners, especially those in Africa. And we'll still share some techniques that you could possibly use so that regardless of how small your budget is, you're in position to still scale and grow your business and actually capture a sensible number of leads. So who is this webinar for? This webinar is ideally for three categories of people. Category number one being chief marketing officers. So those people who own who work in marketing departments and are in charge of overseeing the marketing department. Then it's for marketing managers, people who are in the marketing department, and business owners, people that just want to pick up and see, okay, what exactly can I learn and deploy for my business? What would work, what wouldn't work? For this webinar, we're going to go in depth. If we are talking about a given channel, we'll still go in depth and show you how this actual channel works, so that you know that, okay, this is what exactly I would do for my brand. Yes, and a bit about me. My name is Kenneth Ntende. My experience in marketing has been quite long. I think I've been in the marketing world for the last 8 years. The advantage I have been marketing largely African brands that are selling to the world. Meaning my exposure has been around how do I come from this point of constraint due to lack of finances and still be able to push some of the products that we have to make $1 million plus from not just Africa, but even the European and the US market. So the techniques that I'm going to share are going to be from that angle, from the point of pushing yourself from a point of disadvantage, but still being able to get to the best results. Ideally, my experience has been in line with a limited budget, and most of the companies I have worked for have had no or very little funding. And the brands that we've been able to push to life have still been able to make millions of dollars annually. So it gives me a bit of expertise to share what I have learned across the years. And I believe some of this would be very important for you as a business owner. So yes, about the webinar, here is what we should expect from this webinar. The first thing we'll do, I will just help you understand marketing for this digital era. There's a lot of jargon like what is inbound marketing, cost per click. We'll go through some of those logistics that you need to understand so that in case when there is something you don't understand, you could as well drop a question. In the second point, we will go into how do you structure your marketing plan? What do you need to consider when you're putting that to life? Because a plan is like direction that you have given yourself of this is where we're trying to get to. So without that, you would be like a headless chicken and it never gets anywhere because it has no direction. So we'll delve into that as point number 2. And point number 3, we will talk about how do you set up key performance indicators. How do you structure those so that you get the best results for your team? And point number 4, we'll just dive deep into each and every one of the marketing channels that are available right now on the market and how exactly you can use them. This is where we'll go in depth, channel by channel, showing you how exactly it would work for your business and why it's important for you to use that channel and how you can carve it out for success for your business. And number 5, which is one of the most important segments, is how do you review success of campaigns that you have put to life. And so those are the 5 topics that we will be talking about today. So in case you have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment at any point in time. We will be in position to respond to any of the queries that you may have. All right, so to continue on that, I wanted to just give you a bit of a preamble about what MonkeyPresser does. Now, from MonkeyPresser, to be honest, is an enterprise company. We noticed that nowadays the way customers communicate with our brands has changed. Now, you're going to own an e-commerce shop, for example, and your customers are going to come from different platforms. Some will come from Twitter, others will come from email, others will come from Messenger, others from TikTok. So it's creating this thing whereby people are coming from so many platforms that sometimes it even gets overwhelming for the business owners and teams. So regardless of the platform used, however, the communication made is important, meaning you need to respond to it. So what MonkeyPresser did, we brought together all these different channels under one umbrella and made them accessible to the entire team so that if a communication comes in from WhatsApp, it comes into one dashboard and anyone on the team, whether it's sales, whether it's marketing, whether it's customer support, can respond to those queries from one single place. Ideally, it's a centralized location for whatever communication platforms are out there. So we're not creating another communication platform, but rather centralizing whatever communication platforms you have into one to make it more convenient for your sales and marketing teams and customer support teams to respond to queries. So this joint inbox will be live starting 15th of May. So in case you're interested, I'll share a link out. You can just visit monkeypresser.com/joint-inbox. Access a platform, software, and several other enterprise softwares that we are providing to business owners. So with that out of the way, let's get started. All right, so don't forget, guys, in case you have any kind of query, feel free, just leave a comment in the Q&A section. So we'll jump onto that and help you respond to whatever queries that you have. So yes, to get us started, we'll start with the first component. We help you understand what marketing is overall. Now, we broke this down into 3 segments. The first segment being understanding the role of marketing within your organization. Whenever you start up any enterprise, whether it's an e-commerce company, whether it's an application, whether it's an enterprise software, whether you're selling beans, it's important that you acquire leads, meaning for you to be in position to make sales, you're going to need people coming to you showing interest. You know what? I am interested in your brand. As an example, for me to sell out 10 orders, I'm going to need about 50 different people showing me that they are interested in what I'm selling. So the role of marketing is to create the interest in the brand, so that interest of people who are coming in to ask queries and trying to understand what you're doing are the guys that will end up purchasing from you. So the role of marketing is, ideally, it's broken down into 3. It's number 1, to create leads, meaning I'm selling this product. Why? It has brought me a couple of people, and out of these 10 people, 3 have purchased. Number 2, to create brand visibility. And why brand visibility is important is because ultimately people like buying stuff from people they know. So hypothetically, if you walked up to the streets and you just told someone, you know what, buy my soft drink, buy the soft drink, the person doesn't know you whatsoever, and then Coca-Cola, someone from Coca-Cola came and said, buy this drink, person would be more comfortable buying from Coca-Cola because of that brand visibility. They know Coca-Cola, so they would feel more comfortable buying from Coca-Cola. So that's what brand visibility is. And number 3 is creating an imprint in people's minds, especially those people that you want to sell to. Just keep reminding them and poking them and notifying them that we still exist. We still exist, and that is what marketing is for. Nowadays, marketing comes in what they call as a funnel. A funnel being the first category of content you create is intended just to drive a bit of awareness, to drive people into your funnel, get people to leave some couple of emails, so that ultimately some of these people that come in, they're going to be able to purchase from you. Don't worry, we're still going to go in depth of each and every one of these things as we go forward, but this is just a preamble to give you a heads up of what exactly you should be expecting. And the third thing is it's important to also track the costs diligently. So for each of these pointers, we're going to go in depth for every one of them. So as of right now, I'm just giving you a bit of a preamble, but we'll go in depth so that you understand each and every one of these things. So below, we'll still talk about what they call the SSC model. The SSC model is acquire, consider, and convert. So we'll talk about that more in depth. So with that being said, let's proceed. Okay, so the next segment, we'll be talking about what do you need to consider when creating a marketing plan. We won't be talking about actual creation of the marketing plan because we have an easy template that you could use. I'm going to leave a link in the description below, but it's .com/marketing template. So if you need a template design, that is relatively easy. We have a solution that you can use. But there are some factors that you need to consider when coming up with a plan. So first of all, the role of the plan is to give you direction on what exactly are we trying to achieve. I mean, how many leads do we need to gather? How many sales do we want to make? So this relatively just gives you a heads up on the kind of direction you should be looking at. Now, that is what this section is intended for. In this section, I'm going to just give you what pointers are required to help you understand, to consider when putting up the marketing plan. The first thing you need to consider is helping the rest of the team understand the role of marketing to your entity. Now, marketing, to be honest, is a very underrated department, especially for most businesses in Africa. They tend to think it's a side thing that is not important, but you have to keep in mind that it is the thing that brings continuous leads to your business. And it's from those leads that your sales team is able to convert a couple of sales. So it's still from the same leads that you're going to be able to get more sales next month. So the moment you cut off the channel that brings you continuous people who are interested in what you're doing, the likelihood of you thriving over time is very little. So if you're ahead of marketing, is literally get your team to understand. Then the second thing you need to consider is expectation. As an example, for us, we're an enterprise company. So usually our core metrics of success are two. We want people to sign up on the MonkeyPresser CRM. And if you aren't already signed up, monkeypresser.com and check it out. And number two, we want people to convert, meaning we want people to pay for their subscriptions. So what happens is, in terms of company expectations, we go ahead and help our marketing team understand that, you know what, for this specific month, we are looking for a said number of signups. Take an example, we want 100 number of signups. Now, out of these 100 signups, we know that not everyone is going to subscribe because some people sign up, they're just testing out, oh, the model doesn't make sense for them. So we give them that leeway to understand that, you know what, here is what we expect from you as a marketing team. Now, we want 100 signups. Now, your job as a marketing team is to design different models to help you get to the 100 signup and said, you know what, since we will need 100 signups, we are going to use Google ads as a channel to help us get about 25 of them. Then we'll use Facebook advertising to help us get another 25 signups. Then we'll organize webinar one to help us do that. But the marketing team only has the leeway to do that if they clearly understand what the company is trying to achieve at the end of the day. So the first thing you need to do is have a proper discussion between your marketing team and the sales team to just give you direction of where exactly do we want to be and what exactly can we put in place to get to that position. And number two, number three, the thing that you need to understand is the company expectations. The next thing is identify how many leads the sales team is going to need in order to achieve that specific target that has been set up. As an example, just to use the same example, if we need 100 leads, if we need 100 people to sign up on MonkeyPresser, it means we're going to need to reach out to about 500 different people. Same thing applies in e-commerce. If you want to sell 20 products, it means you have to reach out to 100 people and 100 people who have interest in what you're doing. If you're selling a service, say you're an accounting firm, you're not going to reach out to 2 people and those 2 people automatically convert. You always end up having to reach out to more people and your conversion rate ends up being at 20, 30%. In a few scenarios, 50%. But to get 2 customers, you need 10. Now, what this does, why you need to go through all this when you're planning out your marketing plan, is because it gives you a reality of what to expect, and it gives you a projection of what do I need to be doing in order to get the said figure X. For our case, we're in the software world, meaning our metric of success is signups. We want 100 signups. So the marketing team clearly knows that they need 500 people, and they now begin devising strategies to help them get to 500 people. So that's how you need to be breaking that down to help you make the best sense of your marketing plan. Now, after you have identified how many leads you're going to need to acquire, the next thing is to identify how exactly are you going to acquire those leads. So the same thing applies whether you're in the service world, whether you're in the marketing world, whether you're in the software world, you're going to need to acquire leads in order for you to generate sales. So step 4 is to always understand, yes, we need our 500 people, but where are these people going to come from? This is where you now put to the different channels to know that, okay, now let's use Google in this way to help us acquire this number of leads. Let's use Facebook in this way to help us acquire this number of leads. Let's hold webinars, because webinars are going to bring us some 300 or 200 people coming in every other day. Let's also add maybe an event, because this event is going to result into this number of people. It's the sessions, understanding how many leads, that kind of drives you towards what you need to do. And that's why I'm talking about this, because these are the kinds of questions you're supposed to be asking yourselves in order to come up with the best possible plan for your entity. So yes, then the final question is, remember, we came up with an expectation of we need 100 people. Now, question number 2 we asked ourselves is, to get 100 signups, we need 500 leads. That has been answered. Then step number 3, how are we going to acquire the leads? We have identified the different modules that we're going to use to acquire the leads. After that, the most important question comes down to how much is it going to cost us to acquire the leads? Because every entity needs to spend money to acquire people who are interested in what they are providing. Don't lie to yourself and think that you're going to post on Facebook or WhatsApp and get a good enough number of people to help you make 30, 40K a month in revenues. For you to do that, you're going to need to scale up. So get into the metrics and understand what exactly is it going to cost, and what is a comfortable amount of money for us to spend in order to acquire this number of leads. As an example, just to use our same case, we need 100 signups, meaning we need 500 leads. What is our comfortable cost of acquisition? Are we willing to spend $4? Are we willing to spend $3? Or do we want to spend $2? If it's $2, if we want to spend $2 to acquire a lead, so to get 500 people, we would need $1,000. So just have that at the back of your mind to just give you a reality of, man, I'm not going to get into this and people come to me automatically. You will need to force platforms to bring them to you, and the only way you do that is by paying those platforms to do so. So yes, like I said, I'm sharing just the questions you need to ask yourself when coming up with a marketing plan. However, we have a free marketing plan template available. Let me just share a link for those that want to access it immediately. The link is right here, so you can get that template in place and use it. As you see, well, it's literally something you can use to edit, and it makes sense for your entire organization as a whole. But yes, these are the core questions that you need to be asking yourself, because they give you a reality of what you should be expecting. So yes, and don't forget, in case you have any questions, please feel free to just drop a Q&A in the side menu or at the bottom of your phone. I will be in position to respond to whatever queries. And after this conversation, we'll still send in an email with whatever resources we had, and you can still access those afterwards. All right, so the next thing we need to address is, how do you set up your key performance indicators? Now, what KPIs are just tools to help you identify how you are performing in line with your marketing. Keep in mind that, as earlier discussed, you have now segmented and said, okay, we now want to use Google as a channel, we now want to use Facebook as a channel, we now want to use Webinars as a channel, we want to use Twitter Spaces. So with that in mind, you still need to evaluate and see, okay, so we set out for Twitter to be among the channels that we should be using. How is that performing? How exactly is that performing? So in order to help us come up with something more realistic, I created a simple document that we can use to relate, to help us understand our key performance indicators. This will also be available. I will share this to everyone that is on this phone call, and for those that missed. so that in case you need to use it, at least you have something that you could reference. Now, KPIs are literally key performance indicators. Now, ideally, what these are, it's just a tool to help us identify that, you know what, based on our plan, we wanted to achieve this number of signups, or we wanted to achieve this number of sales. For us to achieve that number of sales, we chose that we're going to use platform 1, platform 2, platform 3, platform 4 as our core. And we're still going to talk about each of these marketing channels after this, so that you can choose and see which of those channels actually works best for you. But to give you an understanding of what the KPIs are, we could say for this case, we chose to use Google ads as a channel, then we chose to use Facebook ads as a channel, then we maybe chose to use webinars as a channel, depending on what your realities are. So you can usually it's in the best interest of the company to track the performance of your marketing channels on a week-to-week basis, so that there are scenarios when, take an example, using a channel like Google, and week 1 the ads are doing well, week 2 the ads are doing well, then week 3 they stop doing well. So usually track that per week if possible, but in other scenarios you can track them on a monthly basis. So what would happen is you would have a document like this. If you need this document, please leave a comment here so that I can send you a link to this document and you can copy it for you. Say, hypothetically, you're selling merchandise, fitness merchandise. Then you said we're going to have Google as one of the channels. Now what happens is design different adverts inside Google and say, okay, now we have gymwear advert where we have a video talking about the fact that we have gymwear available at this price. Then we have boxing gloves available, so that is another advert. Then we have maybe boots, rugby boots available, or soccer boots available, and break it down depending on the ads that you have set up. And after that, now come back into your advertising platform. Let me just log into an example of an advertising platform and literally track and see, okay, now gymwear, we acquired this number of impressions. These are a number of people that reached out to us and showed interest in gymwear. Now, of those guys, these are the number of people that clicked. I'm literally going to log into an ads platform here and show you how ideally it would work. Then after that, come and see of the number of people that came to visit our website as an endpoint, how many of them were actually able to place in an order. And use that to track the conversion of putting this number of people who came and visited, but of this number of people, say I got 1,000 visitors, and of these 1,000 visitors, 50 of them were able to place an order with us. So the conversion rate is about 5%. What this does, it gives you a bit of an understanding of, okay, so if I do this, if I increase the number of clicks by this much, it means the number of orders I get for this specific thing would increase by this much. Then break it down, go to another item. The thing is, I'm just using these as an example, the gymwear, boxing gloves, but it could work the same, whether you're selling a service and your service has different products. Break it down service per service, advert per advert, so that you know if I'm selling fitness merchandise, I have product 1, product 2, product 3, product 4, and each of these products, I have a different advert running for it. So on Google, this is how exactly that specific item is doing, because there are scenarios where you run an advert, it's the same advert on Google and the same advert on Facebook, and you end up finding the conversion rate from Google is better than what it is on Facebook, meaning it makes more sense to increase the amount of money on Google than you're spending on Facebook. Or you're using Pinterest as a channel and Pinterest is outperforming Facebook as a channel. So put where the conversion rate is. Now, these KPIs are just to help you determine what the performance is like across all the channels and all the adverts that you are using. As an example, take an example for us, we have different webinars that we're hosting. Now, for each webinar, keep in mind that we're generating a certain number of leads, and out of the number of leads generated, we understand that some people are going to sign up. So we still track the conversion as a channel so that we know that now specifically webinars, this is the kind of performance they have. On Facebook, service 1 is not working, service 2 is working. Or that's if you're selling some service like marketing. Go to Google and say, you know what, this is what the performance is like. So that is the relevance of the KPI section. It just gives you access to understanding what each and every one of those tools is like. And in case you guys need any further clarification on that, the document is going to be available, and you could as well reach out to me. I will go ahead and share some of these things to just make it make more sense for you. But that is what the KPI section is about. So yes, the next step we need to address is, of course, the marketing channels. Yes, on average, there are about 17 marketing channels that we have wholesomely. Your job as an entity is to actually test out each and every one of these channels independent of the other, because there are scenarios where you see marketers and the person is possibly interested in Instagram, and he thinks that because he is interested in Instagram, all his customers want Instagram, which may not necessarily be the case, because there are scenarios where you like Twitter, but for your business, the largest number of leads that you're going to acquire are coming in from LinkedIn. Meaning it's important that you test each and every one of these channels out and track how much you're spending and how many leads have been acquired from each and every one of those channels to know that this as a channel works for us, or this as a channel doesn't work for us. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go through each and every one of these channels, just showing you how exactly they would work for you as a business owner. For some of these channels, we actually have more extensive videos on our YouTube channel. You could as well go and check out. Take an example, we did another webinar on Facebook ads. So I'll give you a bit of a preamble of how those would work. But for more in depth, you can still go and check out the webinar, the Facebook webinar, because it has much more in depth on how exactly to use it. How do you place acquiring ads? How do you place consideration ads? How do you place conversion ads? So yes, and we'll keep posting more and more. So in case you aren't subscribed yet, I'll also leave a link to our YouTube channel so you can go and check it out and probably hit the subscribe button. But for now, let me just take us through each and every one of these channels that we have. In fact, I have Benjamin listening in. He will present one of the channels and give us a bit of context in line with video. So now the first marketing channel we have is what they call search engine optimization. Now, Google is the largest search engine in existence ever, meaning in every single day, there are literally billions of people that are using this search engine. Now, why this is important is take an example, you own a dog shop, and that dog shop is probably by your local store down here along the road. Now, what happens is, you having that store, the number of people you're going to get visiting that store is less than the number of people you're going to have searching for. I'm selling dog food. The guys that visit your store a day might be 4, 5. Whereas the number of people who are searching that I need dog food delivered to me could be in the thousands within a month. So by you not being on Google or these other search engines, you're depriving yourself of so much traffic that you would never have gotten in the first place. As an example, we can search for a keyword like CRM for fintechs. Now, what you will notice is among the first result actually is MonkeyPresser. But this one keyword CRM for fintechs is only searched for by people who are looking for CRMs for fintech companies. Now, what this means is in a month, just this one keyword has about 4,000 people that look for that solution. And all those 4,000 people that are looking for that solution are actually very intentional. I'm not going to go and just search for, I want a CRM for fintech just. The only reason I'm going to search for it is because I actually want a CRM solution for my fintech company. Now, by you being on top, it means of these 4,000 people that are searching, you're going to get 3,000 of them visiting your site first. And you're going to tell them that, you know what, we actually provide this infrastructure, this software for your fintech. And without us ranking for this word, it means all those 3,000, 4,000 people that visit us would never have seen us if we were not at this position. So that is what the role of search engine is. So it just puts you to a wider audience, because no matter how much you think, leveraging these platforms tends to give you much more scale than any other platforms out there. Yes. And the second is why I started with the search engine. It's one of my favorite channels. I believe it has the least bullshit. Even if I'm looking for land and I go and Google, I want to buy land, I'm not just thinking of, I already have the intent to purchase. So, but what this means is the ads are a bit expensive, so you have to really diligently track the cost of acquisition when it comes to each and every one of these channels. So yes, Google is one of the best. Its downside is it takes a bit of time for you to get traction in the search engine. There is what they call the webmaster tools, which is whenever you write an article, if possible, write an article every week. And once you write that article, send it to Google, tell Google to come and pick it up via the Google Webmaster tool. So even if it takes you 2 years, it makes sense for you to invest in that, because once you get to the top of certain keywords, the amount of it just now becomes a passive channel that brings you 3K, 4K new people every month, which people, whether you're marketing to them or not, they would still come through. So the second channel is what we call search engine marketing. Search engine marketing is now I searched for CRMs for fintechs. The first actual result was MonkeyPresser, but before that actual result, there's an advert right here. So search engine marketing is about that, looking at the words that are relevant to your business and putting them just above, so that before anyone sees any organic results, they are clicking on these adverts. Now, this is done through a platform called Google Ads. Google Ads has really dived quite deep in as a platform. What it does, it gives you ability to post your adverts not only on Google itself, but on YouTube, and even other sites, third-party sites. So we're going to have another video just talking about how to handle your Google adverts. So in case you aren't on our newsletter list, just visit monkeypresser.com/newsletter, so that once we're talking about this in depth, because I know if we begin talking about it, it's another 1 hour session of just talking about this. But as a brief, this is where its importance comes in. As an example, if you're a law firm and anyone searched for a keyword, maybe I want to register my business, and you could appear at the top, it means of the 80,000 people that search for that one keyword of I want to register my business, they are going to start by looking at your brand. So yes, effectively, it's one of the best channels of advertising. SEO and SEM combined account for a large portion. That's why you'll find that of all the digital money spent in adverts, more money is being spent, about 70% is being spent on search engine and Google as a platform, because its impact is so powerful and drives the best results, because whoever is on Google is an intentional purchaser. So yes, and the third channel is of course your social media. Social media, I'm talking of the organic side, meaning you have your company's Instagram account. You post stories there once in a while. You post images. You post videos. You have your LinkedIn. You keep people updated about what's happening. Only problem with it is over the years, these social media companies have been reducing that organic reach, whereby take an example in 2012, if you sent in a post and you had 10,000 followers, you would be able to reach to about 2K of those people without problems. But as of right now, with the same 100 followers, they've dropped the reach to about 0.75%, meaning for you to stand out, you need to be posting a lot more. You need to, if possible, preferably choose the newer social networks like TikTok, because for them, they're still desperate for customers. So they'll be more willing to help your content reach much further than an already built platform like Facebook. Now, for the new business owners, I believe this should be part of your strategy, but preferably, if you're very new, choose a platform where you have a chance of winning. If you can, go to TikTok first, because on TikTok, you can post videos twice, thrice a day, and within less than a month, you have 2, 3, 5K followers, which is not the case for other social networks. So even for this, sit down with your team before you even deploy anything to do with social media and see, okay, what are our channels? Which kind of platforms do we want to use? Is Facebook even important to us? If it's not, don't force the channel. You don't have to be on Pinterest. You don't have to be on Reddit just because the platform exists. So yes, have an account there, post there once in a while, but know that our priority on social media is on platform 1, platform 2, platform 3, and no matter the platform you're on, the thing is there will always be customers. If you're selling shoes, you will have customers on TikTok, you will have customers on Instagram, you'll have customers on Facebook. So strategically, first focus on where can I win fastest, then use where you have won to push traffic onto your other platforms slowly by slowly. I know it's going to get also harder in the near future for you to push traffic on TikTok, but it's among the most popular channels. So I believe most people are familiar with this, so it's direct to the point. The way you track effectiveness of these channels is just make sure that once I have put this out, know that, okay, organically I have amassed this kind of traffic, then paid, I have got this amount of traffic, because it's important for you to segment and know that I did this, and this was the value that I got out from the paid, and this was the value I got out from the organic. From the organic, here are the number of people that signed up, here are the number of people that signed up from the paid. Because sometimes you may think it's the ads resulting into your success when it's the organic traffic that is resulting into it. So every month, have your metrics in place, your KPIs, like we showed in the document before, and actually track each and every one of these diligently to know what they're performing like. Then, of course, there are display ads. For the display ads, this encompasses things like LinkedIn ads, things like Facebook ads, wherever you have display adverts, where you put your video or you put your image, and people are able to take a certain action based on what you want to achieve. So for these display adverts, the largest platforms, of course, number one, Facebook, because Facebook owns WhatsApp, Facebook itself. Then LinkedIn, if you're in the world of B2B, it's still among the best. Yes, it's very expensive, but the quality of leads that you get out of there is astronomically amazing. Then if you're in B2C, you can still use Pinterest, you can still use platforms like Reddit, because they are important, they work. Now, the strategy about these display ads is don't bias yourself towards any of these platforms. Don't say, because Instagram is what works for me, I'm just going to do Instagram. Try each and every one of these channels out and say, let me advertise, let me just use a few dollars. I use $50 to $100 to spend on Reddit, $50 to $100 to spend on TikTok, $50 to $100 to spend on whatever. then track of my $50 that I have spent, how many guys have I got clicking to where I want. I wanted them to go to my website, for example. I wanted them to make a purchase. How did Reddit as a platform perform? How did Pinterest as a platform perform? How did Facebook perform? Because by you breaking it down and actually giving yourself the reality of this is what this platform works like is the only way you would know that, okay, this works for me, this does not work for me. Don't spend 10K on all of them. No, just a bit of a budget to know that, okay, this has worked, this hasn't. Then first double down the money on the platforms that have worked, especially when it comes to your cost of acquisition. Yes, we have some more in-depth videos. We already produced one on Facebook, just showing you how to set up your Facebook ads, how to calculate your cost of acquisition. Let me actually just share a link of that too. I'm going to share a link of that too, so you can just use that for your review purposes. So don't forget that before you dive and begin wasting money into ads, the role of why you're advertising is to acquire leads profitably. Meaning, I'm selling my item at $20, so can I spend $2 to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people? And this $10 I've spent to acquire 5 people has made me $20, $100. That is how the mathematics works. That's why before you even deploy on any of these, it's important you look through this KPI section that we addressed earlier, because it will give you a lot of context on what the reality is in regards to how much you're spending and what you should be spending to acquire each and every lead independent of the other per platform. Yes, that's it about display ads online. Now, number 5, we have offline ads. Now, offline ads, billboard, TV adverts, radio. The best practice for these kind of adverts is you have to figure out a way of bringing them back online. For the first time ever in 2019, online ads surpassed billboard, TV, and radio ads for a good reason, because people were spending a lot of money on these adverts and actually not knowing what the impact is for each and every one of these channels. As an example, if you put up a billboard advert and you don't know that this specific person has come on grounds of that billboard advert, you wouldn't know that, okay, I spent my 2.5 million or I spent my $10,000 on this billboard advert, and this is the value that has come out at the end of the day. Or I've run this TV advert and this is the value that has come out. So the best practice that businesses are deploying right now, run a billboard advert, talk about whatever you're talking about, maybe download this application or sign up for this platform. But within that billboard advert, tell people to access a certain URL, give them maybe some kind of promotion and say, if you access this our platform via MonkeyPresser.com/billboard, you'll get a 25% discount on this and this. What happens is now you're transforming offline into the online, because you can now measure how many I deployed this amount of money on this billboard. But from the number of people that have visited MonkeyPresser.com/billboard as an example, here is how many people I have actually got. And of these people, these are how many have been able to make a purchase from me at the end of the day. Or if you're running an advert on a certain TV station, literally tell them that, you know what, our intended call to action is get people to visit a URL, but a URL with their radio station or their TV name at the end, /TV, set at the back of that way. It kind of gives you a bit of data on how much conversion has come in on grounds of the offline ads. Yes, they still work. Yes, they work in a broad sense, but it's important you, especially you who has a limited budget, to have a bit of an idea of what impact is truly coming in from this. It's not nice to be ambiguous and know that, yes, we ran a billboard advert and we're just running a billboard advert. I would rather you as a marketing manager reach out to your team and said, you know what, we ran a billboard advert, and this billboard advert, based on the number of people that accessed our URL/billboard at the end, there were 800 people that came. Of these 800, 80 of them purchased said product, us resulting into us making this amount of money. That way you would seem a smarter marketer if you did things that way than just running billboard ads for the sake of running billboard ads. So yes, the best practice is that exactly. All right. So the next is what we call events/webinars. Now, events are honestly one of the best channels of marketing. Reason being, events are very custom. They're very, should I say, unique. Take an example. If you're selling a TV software and there was this event calling all TV professionals in the same place, it means you're going to meet several people with similar interests in the same place. Or if this was a marketer's webinar and all of us definitely are interested in marketing, meaning you're getting so many people within the same space. Now, what happens is, for you to get the best results from these events/webinars. Okay, let me start with events. For events, what you do is, even before the year begins, go to platforms. There are several platforms that people put events on. There are platforms like Quicket, platforms like, there are a countless number of them. So literally go out and understand, okay, which events are in my industry, in the location I'm in. Say you're in Nairobi. So understand, okay, which marketing events are here. Step number 2 is attract and actually understand who is organizing these events, and are there any marketing people? Are there any people? How are they collecting their leads for that event? You get to understand, okay, there's a marketing event in Nairobi, that one I can attend it. The guys who are attending are so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so. If possible, even pre-schedule a call, have a phone conversation with these people, if you can get access to those people, and tell them, you know what, I heard you're going to be at this event. Can we schedule some time and talk about what we are going, what this and this and this? And by you pre-planning, you're number 1, getting several meetings within a day, and number 2, you're getting people who are already interested in what you are doing. You're selling a marketing product, and these are 100, 200, 300 marketers in the same place, meaning there's no better place for you to get results quickly. So if you can understand that, okay, month 1 we have this event, month 2 we have the other one, month 3, and every month you're sending out a team of 2-3 people to actually gather leads and have meetings and talk about what you're doing, it goes a long way towards skyrocketing your number of leads acquired every month. The same thing applies to webinars. Webinars are really, really good because they attract people within the industry that you're interested in. I mean, if I was selling fitness merchandise, and every evening I have a webinar telling people that, you know what, if you want to get in shape, I have a free training, a free webinar teaching you some nutrition tips. Then we have a workout session. It means every evening or every week or so, whatever timelines you have chosen, you have a form that people are filling, where those people are giving you their names, their phone numbers, and whatever details you need from them. And these people are interested in what you're selling. So meaning the more of those you can hold, the better for your brand overall. Because over time, over a given year, you would have gathered, let's say you've held 10 webinars. Each of those webinars has brought you 50 people. And 50 people who are interested in what you're doing. It means those are 500 people within 10 months, 600 within the year who are interested in what you're doing. So even if you convert 10, 20% of that, it's still a very good number in terms of overall business improved. So that's how you leverage events/webinars as a channel of advertising. So the next is, of course, viral marketing. This works sometimes. The scenarios where you do something on the internet, and as long as it's scandalous enough, it tends to move faster. And reaches more people faster. So some people are using this as a channel, but I wouldn't rely on it so much because there are scenarios where you create a form of content and think it's going to be viral in its nature, and it just fails to do so. However, if you figure out the coefficients and how this would work for you, it comes out as a great channel of communication and gathering new leads. Then the next channel, which is channel number 8, it's PR. PR means just creating relationships with media houses, creating relationship with bloggers. Why PR is important and how it works is every time you reach out to a media house and they write about you, you get a boost of people that are interested in what you're doing. As an example, you get featured. Last week we were featured in Take a Ball, and from that one post, we had about 8,000 people that visited us. Next time you get featured on TechCrunch, and from that one time you have another, say, 10, 20K people that have come to visit. So if you can find a way of getting in bed with these platform owners, these media houses, it means every other 2 weeks, every other month, you can have a skyrocketing traffic. And from each of those skyrockets, say you've got 20K people that have visited, even if you just converted 1% or 0.5%, that you did not have before. Of those 200 people, say you got 50 people that paid or 20 people that paid. It's an increment that was never there before. So it's an amazing way. So find a way of still reaching out to these PR firms and track those metrics and say, you know what, we got written about in TechCrunch. How many new people came and clicked back to our website? Of these people that clicked back to our website, how many of them signed up? And of these guys that signed up, how many of them were converted into paying customers? So track it as diligently as possible. There are some companies like Tesla. Tesla doesn't run any ads, conventional ads, but they use PR quite a bit. You'll notice Elon Musk is always in the news. Always, it's literally part of their strategy. They don't want to do anything else, but just be in people's faces. Do this, do that, do that. Just keep that what the media keeps talking about you, because the more they talk about you every other 2 weeks, the more spike you get, and over time, you will notice that each and every one of these spikes always leaves you with a few people. Yes, not everyone is going to come back the day after. So you've got 20K people, they may not come back, but you'll get some 200 people that will come back continuously. And from those people, use that as a stepping stone to go to the next level. So yes, then there's another channel called unconventional PR. A Red Bull is the best example of unconventional PR. They'll get someone and make him skydive from space. So just do something out of the ordinary that naturally you get the media to talk about you. That's what unconventional PR means. Most of the time, it has to be something out of the ordinary. Their spaceships and took their first car to space. Achievement-wise, it really doesn't do much, but it gets everyone talking about you. And over time, the impact of each and every one of those stunts that you pull, as long as the metrics still make sense, because what you try and avoid is overspending on one of these unconventional PR techniques that it's not a sustainable of you acquiring leads. But try it out and see. Don't start with very random things that are going to break your bank, but test it out in a casual way. Start and see, has this worked? As in this worked, try it again. If it worked, then try and double down. Keep doing that. That is the best way of getting results from the unconventional PR. So yes, the next channel is content marketing. This is more or less video marketing. But I'm going to invite Mr. Kelvin Kabale to just talk about content marketing. He should be getting on. So in a second. So yes, Mr. Kabale.
Yes, good afternoon, Kenneth.
Good afternoon. Yes, I invited Mr. Kelvin Cavale to just talk about video marketing. This is his docket, and given that he has been on every side of creation of content, deployment of content, running video YouTube ads, I believe he's a very good expert when it comes to this realm. So please, go right ahead.
Yes.
So sorry, Kelvin seemed to go off. Let me just try to reactivate him with video. So it's taking a little longer, but he should be on shortly. Okay, so as he gets connected, maybe let me just continue so that. Okay. All right. Okay, so sorry, this is taking a little longer than anticipated, but it should be on in a. So let me disable this and re-enable this. Okay, so maybe what I can be doing in the meantime, as the tech issue is being rectified, it's taking much longer for him to get connected. Let me just keep sharing my screen and proceed. He will come on with the video marketing. Okay, so number 11, as we wait for number 10 to be discussed by Mr. Kelvin Kawale, is engineering as marketing. Engineering as a marketing channel means yes, Mr. Kelvin.
I seem to be getting locked out with the application.
Okay, so yeah, we can now hear you.
Okay. Do we have video?
I tried to enable you with video, then it took much longer. Maybe I can disable you and re-enable you with video, but that was taking quite a bit.
Let's try it and see.
Okay.
Application seems not to want to do so.
Yes. Now we can see your video.
Yes, you can see me now.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, all viewers.
Good afternoon.
I would like to thank you for attending this very important webinar on marketing. I'll be taking us through video marketing today, and technically, just to give you a preamble, I'm going to be taking you through the benefits. How do you do video marketing, and how is it good for your business? In just a slight preamble, that would be it. That will be what I'll be taking you through. Now, in one of the insights, you should be wondering, what is video marketing? Usually people ask that and they have quite different answers, but in a nutshell, video marketing can be used as everything, can be used for everything from building a customer report and promoting your brand. We're using visual elements, most likely video. Now, in terms of video marketing, you just don't you just don't drop in and start doing videos anyhow. You have to understand that when you're delving into the video marketing realm, you have to have a number of things considered. For example, who are you making these videos for? Who are you trying to connect to in terms of your business? For example, if you have a business that is concerning gym apparel, your best people that you're actually trying to reach out to are the people who actually are join gyms, people who actually use these apparels, people who actually go to the gym and use these kind of things. So you cannot make a video that is touching about maybe gym equipment, or you cannot make a video touching about maybe a gym when it is to people, when you're trying to market to the people who actually use these apparels. So you have to know who you're marketing. You have to know who your niche market to before you even start to consider your video marketing strategy. For example, you have to know if your business is a dog business and you're trying to put out you're selling dog feed. Yeah, you need to understand that every time you put out a video, it has to enrich your customer. For example, if your video is intended to bring in customers, you have to maybe put out a video that to show maybe a success video on how your feeds have helped the people in your area to improve the health of their dogs, the looks of their dogs. Or if you are putting out a video that is promoting a certain type of dog feed, you have to put out knowing that if the people who are buying, what are they going to need to know about this dog feed, and who are they? Or what one, like, who are they? What kind of price range are they looking for? So that would really help you in terms of breaking it down to know when you're putting out a dog feed. Now, after knowing that, you have to know that you are going to need a strategy. In anything that you do in terms of marketing, you're going to need a strategy. You are going to need to know how to do everything in terms of the video. How are you going to put it out? What tools are you going to use? And definitely, what channels are you going to use? Now, for example, let me just give you a snippet on what you're going to use, like when you're putting out, when you're making your strategy, your marketing strategy, your video marketing strategy. First and foremost, you're going to need to know how to allocate resources. Now, by allocating resources, you're going to need to know what's your budget? You're going to need to know your budget. First and foremost, what is your budget? When you understand that, okay, maybe I'm a small business and I'm working on a small budget.
Yeah.
That will give you an idea on what type of equipment are you going to need in that budget. For example, if you're a small business, a small shop, you could use your phone to do these videos to save you time in editing. You could use your phone and your simple laptop to edit these videos. That will help you to cut down on the cost of actually developing a video. Now, number two, you must know when you're putting out a video, you must know that you are telling a story. You are telling a story that is quite important for your business. It is very, very important for you to tell a story, for you to tell a story of your business and what you aim to achieve to your customers. Now, it is not enough for you to just tell a story. Your story has to engage your particular niche of customers. And that will be number three. You have to engage your particular niche of customers. And when you do so, when you tell your story, make sure it has that kind of language that appeals to your initial customers, that kind of language that would turn heads even when a person is maybe scrolling through, well, let's say YouTube Shorts. Your story, that short video that you have made for the YouTube Shorts would actually make this person watch it, even if it is a 1 minute YouTube short, or if it's a YouTube video, a full length YouTube video. The way you pull this person matters when you're telling your story. Your first engagement with this person matters when you are telling that story. Now, number 4, well, as I mentioned, number 4 is keep it short. So most of the time, we know how people hate reading long texts. Even on WhatsApp, you cannot send a long text about your business and someone won't read even the first paragraphs because of how many read modes there are available there, or because of how many paragraphs that it has.
Yeah.
Same comes to video. When you make a video way too long, very few people will watch it to the end. So make sure when you're making a video for your business, make sure it is short, precise, and to the point. And when you're making a video, don't make it too short, because there are video channels that actually do not. When you make it too short, it won't really reach to your customers as you would have wanted. It will not have that reach to your customers as you would have really wanted. So, for example, choose the channel that you are going to use wisely. For example, if you have to make short videos, well, there's YouTube Shorts. Kenneth talked about TikTok. TikTok actually likes short videos but precise. So if you're marketing your business on those channels, make sure you make those videos short, precise, and to the point. Make sure your point is within that video and also very clear and understandable. So lastly, of course, when you're doing all this, you've chosen your channel, you've put down how you're going to engage your customers, you've made how you've now known how your video is going, how long your video is going to be. You've known how you're going to tell the story to your customers. You know your customers that you are going to talk to, and now you know the resources that you're going to allocate to making these videos to your customers. You need to now know how to analyze. Most times when we put out videos on YouTube, we really have we ignore that side of the analytics. We just post a video and we in the front end. Yeah, we just post a video in the front end, and it's people just don't go to the video to the analytics side. But these analytics are quite important to show your engagement. Let me give you an example. If you're to post a video of, for example, you're a car manufacturer and you post a video of a new brand that you have brought into the country, a new brand, a new model of a car that you brought into our country, and you post that video, and let's say it has maybe 40,000 views. How many of those views are new? Because of course this channel has been here for a while. How many of those views are new? How many of your viewers have come back to watch that video? How many of those views have converted into leads and signups for your website? So these analytics, the back end of YouTube would give you all these analytics that will help you convert and reach more to the people that you are trying to talk to. Also, before I forget, when you're posting this video, after editing it and whatnot, after giving it all that you can give it, giving it all the the snippets, the nitty-gritties that you need your customers to have, make sure in the description, we see people saying link in the description. Even Kenneth earlier said it, link in the description, link in the comment section. Make sure when you're posting that video, if you have a website, if you have a site that you want to lead these people to, and you have a site you want to lead your customers to go and engage with you and talk to you and purchase your products and purchase your products, you need to put those links in the description. You need to actually also add hashtags to these videos so that the client that is looking for new Mercedes-Benz model, it will improve your SEO on Google. It will also improve your search position on YouTube. So if you add the relevant, you have to know the relevant hashtags that you have to put into your video. You have to know the relevant links that you have to add to this video before posting it earlier. Now, you're now hearing me talk about talk about video and video marketing, and you're talking. I'm telling you about posting these videos, but what exactly are the benefits of video marketing? Now, with your audience, this content is you're reaching out to your audience with this content. Thus, your brand is coming to their faces. Your brand is coming to life. Your brand is showing them what you can do. Because most of these videos, you're going to have very many videos. You're going to have explainer videos. You're going to have short and precise. They're called testimonial videos, of customers using your product. Once you have this and your brand is out there, the videos, the engagement with your videos, the share, the like, the subscription to your page, it's going to bring your brand to a very wider scope of people. And being that people most of the time are not going to go only to written content, and they want your videos. For example, if you have a product that needs to be, maybe you're selling hardware equipment like drills, like electric hammers, or what, and so on and so forth. You need to actually have explainer videos that help your customers use your products effectively. In that, you bring up brand loyalty when you're doing video marketing. You bring out that brand loyalty because not only do you want to sell to your customers, but you also want to educate them. So you're bringing up that organic kind of audience that relates with your product, but not only does it relate with your product, but also knows how to use your product because of the explainer video on your page. Also, it also boosts your video. The video is an SEO goldmine. What do I mean by it being an SEO goldmine? The more videos you produce for your channel, the more videos you produce for your channels across the board, the channels that accept video, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, which is now the new one. All this, the consistency of you producing videos time and again, makes your rank on Google a bit higher, because now people are starting to engage with your channels. People are starting to relate with your company. Your brand is in people's faces. Being so, when maybe if your brand is like Hardware Inc. and Hardware Inc. every week produces 6 videos in how to use their products and how to use their product and where to find them, and their customer care, their testimonials. Hardware Inc. also has TikToks that they produce maybe every after 3 hours they bring out a TikTok. You're in people's faces. So technically, your search engine position will actually just be being bumped up. So technically, Google will start trusting you because you're now becoming an authority in that kind of line of work. So that will really be beneficial for you in terms of your business, in terms of people knowing your brand, and Google actually recommending you to more people that are not technically your organic kind of customers. Now, let me tell you the one thing that I would say that really, for me, I would really consider video marketing is people can relate with you on a personal basis. Video kind of brings you to the client. What do I mean? When you put out a video, as let me give the same example as the hardware kind of you're producing hardware for construction, and you're producing a video, maybe thanking your client, maybe showing your client how to use this particular tool that you are using. This gives you the opportunity for your client to show that you actually care. So that personal touch to your videos gives the client more clarity and makes it actually safe for them to trust your brand. Makes Google also trust you in your area, in that area of expertise. Now, lastly on this, for me, as I would really give you that. Lastly, for me, it would be kind of, what are the challenges as a video creator or a video marketer would you really face in that field, as when you're trying to put out videos for your brand, for your business, or as a video marketer, or as a marketer in general. Now, one thing that people really lack and they really don't want to listen to is, you should not put the price of making the video before the quality of the video. What do I mean? Once you put the price of making, let's say you want to make maybe a series of videos. You want to make a series of videos to market, to boost your brand, and you put the price of making those videos before the quality, you may actually be losing out. Because once your budget is tight and once your budget starts being strained on making these videos, the series of these videos, once your budget is strained, your video quality is going to drop. And trust me, your viewers shall notice. Once your video quality drops, people shall just be dropping off. And by the way, with video, people will be dropping off every day. Your content will be boring to them. So simplicity matters. If you don't have a camera, if you don't have all this audio equipment, use what you have in your budget. Simplicity matters. Use what you have in your budget, because if you exceed your budget in making these videos, you are going to drop the quality, and once you drop the quality, this is going to become a challenge for you. And I think the biggest challenge, number two, the biggest challenge that would be people not knowing who exactly are they making this video for.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
you're trying to make a video for clients of hardware, but then you just put the hardware tool spinning around for like a minute and send out that video. What message is it putting? Is it putting out there? What message were you trying to tell the customer that, okay, this is a drill, so what? You have to know that when you're putting out a message in a video, you have to know exactly the message you're putting out there. This becomes a challenge with most marketers. They just make videos for the sake of making a video, and it really does not reach to anyone.
Yes.
Yeah. So before I end, I have to implore you with these key things. Make sure your budget, if your budget is tight, make sure the simple things. You can use your phone. The phones these days have very good cameras. The iPhones, the Google Pixels, they have very good cameras. Use that. As long as you have that personal touch, as long as you know who you're marketing to, as long as you know that my story is being told and effectively it's engaging my viewers and it is engaging the people I want to market to, make sure you're making all that, but simplicity matters. Keep it short. Do not bore people. Because when you bore people, are not going to watch your videos. When you bore them with lengthy videos, they're not going to watch the videos. The few that will watch them may not they may not even reach halfway. So when you make it short and precise, you've already put someone to actually watch more. Like, for example, TikTok. The only reason why people watch TikToks for hours without actually knowing that they are watching them for hours is because these videos are short and engaging.
Yeah.
Short and engaging. Yeah. I would like to thank you. And that was on me on video marketing. I hope it helps someone today.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin. So I think we should even do another one on exclusively video marketing, because the number of things you have to say.
Definitely. I would definitely. This is a very interesting, I'm sorry, I've gone through it very quickly because of time. But
Yes.
if we can do it, we can do a longer one. That is because video marketing is very, very broad. Very, very broad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Maybe you can just mute yourself, then I can proceed. Okay, so the next channel we have, unfortunately, we're almost out of time. So for the rest, I'm going to have to kind of take us through extremely quickly. So the next channel that is kind of unexplored is what they call engineering as marketing. Now, engineering as marketing mostly comes in the world of technology. what happens is people wave marketing within their products. Take an example, if you're using Dropbox, the Dropbox service, within Dropbox itself, they give you 10, they give you some extra storage. Usually it's about 5 GB for every new person that you invite and they actually sign up. That is them using engineering within marketing. It's like they're forcing you to take a certain action towards their application. Next time you take a ride and say you're using Uber and you've used it for the first time, they'll tell you, do you know what? We'll give you some free credits, give this to whichever friend. Once they sign up, even you will top you up and we give you some extra credits. So that's how it works. The same thing applies. You use Binance as a service. They'll tell you the moment you make your first deposit, we'll give you 100% of that deposit. I've seen quite a number of ads, gaming ads. Say Betway, for example, comes out and says, you know what, if you use this as a channel, if you bet from here, whatever amount of money will give you 200%. That is what they consider as engineering in marketing. So it's another interesting component of marketing and can be used. So then another type of marketing is business development. What business development is literally you are sending out a sales team, and this team is intended to just help you market your products. Now, this one comes in handy when you're doing B2B, products. Say we're selling a CRM, it would not make sense for us to go on the road and shout, hey, we're selling a CRM. It would make a lot of sense where we put together a lethal marketing team that literally reaches out to everyone that we understand is a prospective customer. You go out to MTN, talk to them and say, how can this help your business? How can this help your business as a whole? So yes, that is what business development is. Apologies, we're going to have to rush a bit faster because we are a bit behind schedule. And the next channel is what we call affiliate marketing. Now, affiliate marketing there are several programs that we can use. Sometimes people develop their own affiliate programs, and other times people leverage on other affiliate programs. I'll start with the other. There are platforms like ClickBank, where ClickBank already has a couple of several other. They have quite a number of other people who already promote different products. So it could be software, it could be an e-commerce product. Now, on this platform, what happens is you go and deposit money. You can apply as a seller. Now, if you're a seller, you can say, you know what, may I have my $1,000 and I'm willing to pay $2 per lead that has been sent to my direction. So that means you expect this platform to get you 500 different people. Now, you give them your $1,000, and because they have a wide network of people that are already marketing products, it means they're going to help you acquire, they're going to tap into their existent platform and their network of people to help you get more people that would be interested in what you're doing. And so that is how you leverage this. So what people do is sometimes they deploy it on their own, and you know that, okay, Uber, so every time someone shares this link, I'm going to give them some money back. Or my company is MonkeyPresser, and every time someone shares our link and we get a sign up back, we'll give this person some kind of charge back. Or Forex companies do it a lot, and it's a model that works. The reason it works best is because, the metrics are very standard. I'm going to give you $1,000, and from this $1,000, I expect 500 people, or I expect 200 people. It's very direct, and more people are willing to spend money on that as a tested channel because it's already proven and it gives you definite results. So yes, that's how affiliate programs work. So the next platform, the next channel of marketing is what they call leveraging existing platforms. Now, existing platforms like Amazon, like Jumia, and similar companies are quite a good way to scale, especially for e-commerce businesses. the way these work is you would literally go out to a platform like Amazon as a seller and put your products. Amazon just keeps promoting your products. Remember, Amazon already has millions of people that are looking at products every single day. Meaning, once you put your product there too, you're going to have this platform work for you, because I mean, then someone would come to buy pillows, and as they are searching for pillow purchases, they find your products within that. So they will be able to actually purchase your product. So that's the same way Jumia works. They have a seller model whereby you can actually apply as a seller. And because they have literally hundreds of thousands of people that are looking at their products and want to buy, they are going there to purchase products. You can sign up, and once you put your products there, you easily people can easily make a purchase from it. It's like, I am a new seller, and instead of me going through the logistics of creating my own network, creating everything on my own, let me just tap into the existing network and get on different platforms to just purchase my product. So that's how leveraging other existing platforms works. Yes, number 15 is of course what they call meetups. Meetups means you continuously meet different small groups of people who are interested in what you're doing. I had kind of talked about meetups and webinars earlier, but the way they work is there's an event that's going on, create small networks, create a community, and begin talking to these people, because you know every event or every webinar is attracting 500, 600 people of a similar mindset. So usually you use platforms like Eventbrite. Then use that as a platform and discover, okay, I'm in the world of marketing, or I'm in the crypto world. So what crypto events are available? Do I have any connections to these events? You can literally just go out and search and know that, okay, I'm looking for crypto events, such that it usually brings you a result of everything similar, depending on what industry you're in. I can say maybe I'm in the world of marketing. Are there any events near me, or I'm in Kampala? So what events are available? It usually brings up several events for you, and you'll notice that each of these events has different people. Now this event, for example, for marketing, has 553 followers. You can enroll and know, okay, who is going for this event, and reach out to these people, because it goes a long way towards helping you tap into already an existent network of people who are interested in what you're doing. So yes, in a nutshell, those are all the channels that are available. Now, your job as a marketer is to say, okay, I have all these different channels, but what works for us? Because just because there are all these 17 or 19 modules of advertising, it does not mean that all of them work for you. So go ahead and test out and see what would work for us. And our webinars, a good channel, is holding live sessions on social media working for us. Is what exactly is working for us overall. Once you understand that, you would now know that, okay, among the channels that have worked for us, Facebook is working, Google Ads working, webinars we tried to iterate, but from the number of signups we got for our webinars, we got 6 webinars in the first one, 6 signups, and 3 in the second, and 1 in the third one. That one as a channel is not working for us. So your job after that is to keep tracking each and every one of these metrics and know that here is what has worked for us. Because like I said, social media as an example has 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 different social media networks. It does not mean that each and every one of those is a good fit for you. So within the first 3 months, first determine and see what works for us, what does not work. Then for whatever has worked, just double down keep doubling down up to a point when it makes sense to you. So keep testing each and every one of these channels out, and whatever works is what you double down on. Okay, so guys, We're a bit time bad. I believe this is all from us today. And in case you have any queries, you could as well leave it in the Q&A section. We'll be sending out an email with this full video just talking about the basics of what we need to do in line with marketing. And don't forget, we will also be hosting, having different sessions on different individual topics. As an example, the next one we're going to do is on YouTube and video marketing. We'll have one on setting up Google Adverts for best results. We already have one on Facebook advertising as a channel, which you can check out on our YouTube channel and rewatch that. But in the meantime, given that we're a bit behind schedule, I believe that's all from us today. If you have any questions, please drop that. I'm going to leave it about a minute for you to drop in any questions. But in case you don't, we will be sending out an email with this entire recording, just highlighting how you can market your business. That's all from us, folks. Bye-bye. Yes, that's all from us today, folks. Bye-bye.